Great to see you, Teresa and Alex from Yonaka. And so there's two of you. There's in the band also George, but are you still looking for a drummer?
So we're not going to expand the band anymore, but we do have one drummer that we will be using continually for the shows because he's amazing and he's called Adam Breeze.
So it's kind of like a session drummer, like live drummer.
Yeah, but we had a chat about bringing another member into the band, and we've been doing it for long enough to like it just feels there's enough of us in it, so we just wanted to bring someone in for the live shows, and we found an incredible drummer, and he really elevates the show playing lives, and we're just going to keep it at that.
Yeah,
So not no more new members though.
but Adam also played on the latest record as well. He recorded all the drums on that, and yeah, big part of the sound of the album.
Okay, and so you released a new record, and it's been 7 years since the first album. And I know that in between there were EPs and mixtapes and singles, but still, for such a young band, 7 years, it seems like eternity, right?
So it wasn't that we didn't want to do an album. We did kind of want to do an album in between, but it's you actually we weren't ready for an album. I personally wasn't ready. I didn't have big enough of a it just wasn't right. I feel like but of course we made mixtapes and EPs that were like 7, 8 songs long. And they felt really good, and they felt like these like good little like packages, and it was only just about now that we were like, okay, let's make an album. We just kind of like went away and did it, didn't really tell anyone about it. Um, and then presented this album and was like, we've done this, we've got this is what we want to do. We kind of made the decisions on this one, and was like, this is the album. Let's get it out there. Like, let's put it out. And we kind of chose all the songs ourselves. We put everything. We really didn't have any outside voices in on this one.
Yeah, and it seems that in this day and age, you have a choice, how to present your music because, like, for decades, since 50s and 60s, an album was, the major artistic expression for bands. Like, you had to release albums, and now you can choose whether you like to release an album, an EP, or just go with the singles. So I guess it gives you more freedom.
Yeah, definitely. And it does feel really good to do an album. It just feels there's something about it that feels just like way more bigger. Like it just feels bigger.
And I still think there's such a huge appetite for the album in general. I feel like a few years ago, a lot of people seem to think that that was kind of dying out a little bit, and people are going to go with a different way of presenting their music. But I still think the album is
The
still
ultimate.
is still my favorite way to listen to, like, and yeah, and growing up, all of my favorite bands, I got into them through particular albums and listening to them as one piece of music. So it's still very important to me,
Well, how
to
many
us.
songs is an what? How many songs is it that makes an album? Is it 10 plus? So
I mean,
really, if
yeah,
that's the case, we're only about 2 songs off in our middle projects.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally with you because like, I talk with a lot of bands, and some of them they say that they're done with albums and they just want to release only singles. But then again, there's a lot of bands that do want to release albums, and plus they want to release vinyls, cassettes.
Yeah.
So the physical aspect is also very important still.
Absolutely, and it felt so nice to make a big, massive run of vinyls. And we didn't just do one type of vinyl. We did like a ox blood type. We did two different variations on the artwork. I worked relentlessly getting everything right for it, and it was so much fun. And we did like a picture disc. We did a lot, and it's really fun. It's like so much more work, and it feels just way more grand and like a moment when you make an album. I think it takes a lot of work, and it feels good when it all comes together.
And it seems that this album is like an artistic expression. And would you say, because I guess it's not a concept album, but would you say it's a themed album?
Yeah, so because it's not a concept album. It's that it touches a lot on kind of relationships and self-discovery. And like, I guess the most common kind of line throughout would be like love in a way that's not just like being in love in a relationship. It's like platonic relationships and like people that you've had to like let go of, people that are now no longer in your life, like falling in and out of love with people, and it's a lot of that, and a lot of falling in and out of love with myself is on the record as well. So it's, I mean, if we had to like pin it down to like one kind of through line, I would say, that plays a big part in the music and the lyrical content, which, we haven't really explored that much before.
Mhm. So it's about love. It's also about the dark aspects of love, I guess, like songs
Yeah.
like Problems also.
Yeah, exactly. I'm never going to give you a gooey love song. It's just not the way I write. It's like I like, I love poetry and I love like words, and I want it to be sexy and dark, but still have that kind of like deeper feeling to it.
Mhm. I heard that Problems was one of the first songs you written for the album, and you from the start knew that it's going to be an opening track. So I guess did it give like the theme for the rest of the album?
Yeah.
Well, I think we were writing for a while. We had one particular writing session that didn't, nothing really came out of it, and we got back home, and George was just he had my bass, and he just came up with that opening riff, and we wrote, an idea came really fast, and we all got really excited about it, and it kind of set the tone for what we wanted to do moving forward for the album.
It was really kind of, everyone felt it. Like, the chorus came out immediately. I wrote the song in about 10 minutes in that evening. It was like just the bones of it, but it was the whole song. And we then worked on it like the next day, just getting all the sounds and stuff in. And like the sonics of it and stuff was just like, okay, this is the beginning of the album. In terms of this is the first song we have written for the album. Not being the first song on the album, but the first song, the blueprint, if you like.
So how long ago was that? Because I'm curious to know how long was the process of writing this album?
I think that song was about 2 years ago.
Yeah, not far off of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but so if we kind of say about 2 years, there is a song on there called "Best of Me" that we actually wrote about 5 years ago. That's the oldest song to exist on the album, and I do feel like maybe we had one before Problems, but maybe not. Maybe it was just "Best of
I
Me."
think it was just Best of Me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say, from start to finish, like writing all the songs. I'm trying to give like a time frame because from start to finish, writing, recording, mixing, and mastering, I'd say about a year and a half
Yeah.
for everything.
Because we often
Mm.
write songs quite quickly, initial
Mm.
ideas, and then spend quite a long time refining them and finishing them.
And did you work and produce the album by yourselves? Because the first album, I guess, you recorded and produced just by yourselves.
Yeah, so we produce everything on our own, but this time we decided. So we did a couple of we wrote a couple of songs with our good friend Dimitri. I always say his second name wrong. I'm gonna say it again, Tigavoy. Um, and we wrote a couple songs with him, me, Alex, and Dimitri, which was Trouble Follows, and
But we did try as well with George as
Try
well.
was George was on that one, and there was one more, and At the
The
Beach, which
beach.
was us at Dimitri as well. And we wrote these songs with him, and he kind of was like, "Look, I love recording bands," and we were like, "Oh, that's an interesting thing." I was like, because we usually we're very, we do everything on ourselves. We're very independent. And we were like, okay, why don't we? And I kind of spoke to the guys. I said, look, guys, like, if we're gonna make an album, let's just like go for it. Like, we can afford to bring him in and go to a studio rather than doing it in our living room again, which is what we've done for so many years. Why don't we just take this moment and just do it, like, and actually have the experience?
I'm so
And
happy we did that as well.
yeah, me too.
Because we write here and it's our studio is in our home. It's just nice to get away from it and just to completely dive into it and not think about anything else.
Not to say that we didn't then spend 3 months. Me and Alex then did 3 months after the studio of like vocals and doing all the production and everything after that. So you still come back to it, but it was definitely nice to be in like a big studio and have
Yeah.
like all these instruments like at our feet. You know, it was great. And
And
so
sorry, and Dimitri's also very seasoned in that environment in like a big studio. Most of my experience as a producer is very laptop based, so it was great to get in there with him. With like there's like a warehouse of instruments and amps and guitars, and he was just amazing at that, and like shaping tones and things like that. He's so
Mhm.
good.
Have you
yeah,
always
we had
wanted to?
a co-producer on this one. Yeah,
Mhm.
co-producer.
So have you always wanted to be independent? Because like recently I talked to Orgasm and they released their first album through a label, but then they went independent and they said that going independent was the best decision they ever made. And working with labels was a mistake for them. So have you always wanted to be independent?
I wouldn't say that working with labels has been a mistake for us. Like, I'm really grateful for the opportunities that we've had. Because this is our fourth label, so we've had, but it's not. It's an indie label now, so it's different. Like they all work very differently. So our first signing was a major record company, Atlantic, and it's like it's got everything you could possibly need, and they've got all the money that you could need, and it was a really nice like entry to understanding what it was like. It didn't quite go as right as we thought it would go, but we were still learning and understanding the type of music we wanted to write. But we did write Don't Wait Till Tomorrow album when we were assigned to those, and honestly I think the experience was actually brilliant. Like we got to go to some amazing studios that we would have never gone to. Like we went to Rack Studios, we went to what's that one that's like begins with
Metropolis.
Like we went to so many amazing studios, made all this we worked with like different producers, because it's a massive experience, and if you can take it and come out unscathed, then it's definitely worth doing. But obviously, of course, when you get your contract and stuff, then having all your rights taken and everything like that is another conversation. But I definitely don't regret signing to all these labels that we have been with. That it's like almost you learn a lot from doing it. There's so many like intricate parts and details and things that you thought you knew but then you didn't, and you're constantly learning, because we're like yes, the creative side but the business side as well. It's very interesting.
Yeah, we were still developing. It was quite early on in our band's career, and we weren't. Yeah, I don't think we were fully there where we wanted to be at that point. So,
but being independent now, it is really nice. And when we wrote this album, we had no label at all. Like we got everything together, and then when this is what we've got, this is what we want to do. Do you want in? It was very much that. And we're with Distiller now, and they've been great, really helpful, and it's going good. Now it's like, now the album's out, we're not, it's almost just like the beginning of it's really just started, because now we've got to go boom 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 with it.
Mhm. Sure. Let's go back to the songs because I want to discuss some songs on the album. We mentioned Best of Me, which is quite unlike song from the rest of the songs because you're a very powerful, heavy band, and this is like a very powerful ballad. And I guess like it's something different for you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But we kind of always like to throw in like a little more kind of ballady vibe. Like on the last record of Welcome to My House, we had Give Me My Halo, and it's we've had Guilty previously before that. I love a ballad, and it's like, I think it's a really nice thing to be able to show that you can do both sides. You can bring both things to the table.
It's a nice dynamic shift in the album as well.
Very emotional, and it's a really beautiful song. And like I said, that song we had been sitting on for about 5 years, and there wasn't an opportunity to put it out until this moment.
And it sounds great on the album. And on the other hand, you have songs like "Eat You Alive," which you said that this album is about love. Is it about physical aspect of love?
That's like a kind of like very obsessive feeling of being like, you're in my once you're in my like web, you'll never leave. You can think that you've left, but you never like will. It's a very like obsessive, all-consuming kind of disgusting love. Yeah.
Mhm. And the song "By the Bullet" it shows like two sides of you in one song because you have this disco rhythm and very heavy guitar. So I guess how did this
Yeah,
combination come up?
that verse took a second to get right, didn't it?
It did. Yeah.
Because it was really like trashy and it sounded a bit too like pop punky, and it wasn't right. And then I think you just kind of like went a bit underwater with it and went for like a really like dancey bass drum, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's it, and it really like gave the contrast then when the chorus came in, because the chorus is so like trashy and like da da da. It was really fun. I think I love that song. I think it's got a really like a Black Eyed Peas kind of vibe to it. And
It's a fun song.
it's very fun. It's very tongue in cheek. Like
Yeah.
that one's not about love. That one's just like, you know, fuck you type of thing.
Mm. And you're very energetic on stage, but I've seen you also recently doing acoustic shows, which are also great. And how does it feel to present all these songs in these acoustic versions?
It's so nice. It's so nice. That I think we should start doing it more, because it's a completely different show. Um, and I feel like it translates so well acoustic. I get to use my voice in a different way as well, because I love playing full band. There's like such a fit, like it's such a good feeling. But you have to sing in a way where you can get over the music, or yeah, no, yeah, that you can get over the music. Whereas when we're doing it acoustic, I honestly, my voice becomes a different instrument to me, and it's so fun and interesting for me to, and I can get way more emotional. So I'm absolutely loving the acoustic
Yeah, me
shows.
too. The first one we did, it was because I'm so used to doing like loud, heavy shows. It was quite an adjustment because it was like you feel kind of naked almost when
Yeah.
you almost have this kind of safety net of like a loud guitar behind you and big powerful drums, and you feel kind yeah you feel almost naked and vulnerable on stage. But it was such an amazing tour.
And you
I
can't
loved it.
move, so I think that makes you even more like, right, yep, da, da, da. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely more nerve-wracking.
Mm.
But it's been really cool. It's been really nice to do.
Have you thought of doing an acoustic set during your regular show, like maybe two songs in the middle?
Oh yeah, yeah. We used to do that actually. But we'll definitely, for headline shows and stuff, we'll definitely be working on something like that. Yes.
Mhm. You're going to play in Poland as in Summer Punch Festival in Warsaw. You've already played in Poland a couple of times. Like, do you have any memories from the shows?
Oh my God, I loved that show. We played it on the last tour. I think we did. I think it was Warsaw, and it was literally one of my favorite shows of that whole tour. The next day, I couldn't sing anymore because I completely lost my voice. But that show, it was so much fun. I was just like running around in a circle in the crowd, and it was just amazing. Like, do you know what? Sometimes you can feel a bit shit before going on stage, and if you don't feel very well, if you don't feel very confident, but if the crowd bring that energy and start singing everything to you, it puts like a shock wave into you of just like confidence and love, and this like amazing kind of powerful feeling. So you just take on it's literally electric. So the
Yeah.
crowd is so important, and I remember the crowd at that show were just like insane.
Yeah,
And yeah, I loved
we've
it.
done quite a few really good shows in Poland. We did was it
Opener
Opener
Yeah,
Festival.
Festival?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
we did that
was
quite a few years ago,
a long time ago,
a
wasn't it?
long time ago, and that was probably the most people we played to at that
At
point,
that
right?
point, yeah, I think that was one of our first European
Yeah,
festivals.
yeah. We'd never played Poland before. It got to 5 minutes before we were due on stage. I looked out. It was like three people there or something, and then yeah, went off, got my bass, came back out, and it was like a full
It was
tent,
rammed, yeah.
and it was so good. The energy was amazing. Yeah, good times.
I hope you have a great fun also during the Summer Punch Festival. It's a great lineup that you'll be playing with Bad
Yeah.
Omens, 3 Days Grace, Landmarks, Wargasm, Smash Into Pieces. Like, do you have your favorite bands there?
I look forward to see Bad
Yeah,
Omens.
yeah. I've not
Mm.
seen that before. That's gonna be great.
Um, that'll be really good. Yeah, I can't wait to see them.
Okay. Hope to see you there in Warsaw. Thank you for the interview. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Robert.
so much.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Bye.
See you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.